Perfect.
It's all good. Yeah. I was like, oh, whoops.
Here we are.
It might take a sec. It's still halfway kind of recalibrating. I find this kind of sticky anyways when it just kind of starts to link. See how it goes here.
Just put the good vibes out.
And I believe we are live. Give me one sec. I just want to hit this little play button. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Beautiful. Hi, yes, welcome. I'm gonna just take a moment and introduce my very special guest. I'm actually really super excited. I always am. Colleen and I have been kind of like weaving together I was thinking about it yesterday for a good couple of months now. So I was really excited to connect and just take our conversation deeper. So I'm going to take a moment and introduce Colleen. So Colleen M. Coyne, I hope I'm saying your last name correctly, is an automated high-ticket affiliate mentor and founder of the Global Womb Wealth Wisdom Reclamation Movement. We're here today. We're going to be talking about building sustainable womb-led businesses for feminine frequency leaders and priestesses of the new earth. She guides and supports devoted womb awakening new earth mamas to build high-ticket affiliate wealth streams online and tap into automated business platforms, sharing their truth codes and building an authentic personal brand online. It's her soul mission to empower women to reclaim their cyclical womb wisdom, free their souls and their voices, move beyond limitation, and embody their most lit as F frequency, all while unlocking aligned wealth flow for the regeneration of ourselves and of Mother Earth. I love that. She currently lives in the lush Pacific Northwest in Portland. I know so many people who live in Portland, Oregon, with her partner and her 2 cats. She's devoted to deep healing through ritual and embodiment practices and loves playing in nature. So if you're ready to create a healthy and aligned high impact wealth ecosystem that allows you to live a womb-led life of freedom and choice with an amazing community of soul sisters, she's going to be sharing, well, so much more and ways to take what she's sharing even deeper. So I'm just going to toggle back here and get back to the visual of you. Welcome, Colleen. I'm so excited to have you.
Oh, thank you so much, Tara. It's such an honor to be here with you, sister. Just absolutely love it. I've loved sitting with you. Yeah.
So before we even hopped on, we had a little bit of a dialogue. Yeah, and I don't know if you see it, but when I'm on here, I think I can go straight to Zoom. Give me one second. When I'm on Facebook, it lags.
Yeah.
There, that's better. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we were chatting a little bit, and I don't know why I was inspired to ask the question of, where your journey began. I know for myself, it's, I've been in the online space for like over a decade, but sometimes you get so curious about like, where did your journey start? Where did your path really open? And I guess the best way for me to phrase that, was where was like the real awakening? Like, where did that open for you? And I'll just hand it over to you because you started to share.
Yeah. So my big spiritual awakening path really started a moment at Alchemaya's festival in May of 2011. It was, just the best visionary artists all across the globe gathered for this festival that was happening at one of the Hilton resorts there. It was kind of a really interesting place to hold it. But yeah, it was really, really powerful. And I just remember having a moment overlooking the ocean, just feeling like there was so much more for me. I had been, working in case management for about 5 years, have my degree in psychology, had kind of gone the traditional route of getting my degree and getting a job. And at that moment, I was like, there's something so much more that awakened within me. And it was really a special moment with Robert Venosa. He's a very well-known visionary artist. And yeah, we met, and my friend was like, did you know that you just were talking to Robert Venosa? And I was like, no, I had no idea. Like it was such a beautiful portal, just this beautiful elder asking me, like, I just remember him looking me straight in the eyes, overlooking the ocean, and he was like, life changing. I mean, even just saying that, I have full body chills, and it was just such a special moment. And he ended up passing later on that year, but that moment, that transmission of myself as a creative energy body, like that's what I experienced in that space, and just being surrounded by so many beautiful artists. And my first introduction to Autumn Sky Morrison, who I've got her art all over my house.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so it was just a beautiful awakening, and that's really where things started unfolding.
So what did open? Like, I'd be so curious, like, just from like that point, like, what was the next step? What was the next piece that opened? And I know, we've talked, I love the way you weave ritual into your work. I love how you work with like cycles and bleed time. And I just be so curious around, like, where did all of these pieces start to open up for you? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. So it's funny because I got kind of swirled up in the festival kind of rave community scene in Portland, and kind of experimenting with psychedelics, and so that's really where it's just that kind of mind expansive moments. And what really was missing for me was kind of the intention and the ceremony of working with psychedelics. And so I had that beautiful experience at Alchemaya's, and then later on that year, I ended up doing a solo mushroom journey, actually, and had visions of myself actually being at the pyramids in Palenque for the end of the Mayan calendar.
Oh, wow.
And so it was in that moment, that was a really beautiful, deep, like, ritual space that solo ceremony that I did. It was a date with my inner artist. I literally like went to the art store for the first time and got sketchbooks and had like a whole day of unlocking. And I just knew that I needed to make some big changes. And so I made the decision at that point, like, I need to quit my job and go travel. And it was right before my Saturn return too. So that was like, it was like basically all of 2012 was this deep soul preparation for this, the hero's journey. It was like this preparation of stripping back all of the layers, kind of getting rid of stuff. I had been living by myself for 3.5 years. And so it was a really deeply healing portal that I had been, nest that I had built, but I was like, it's time to unravel this and fly and let my soul, go on my spiritual quest.
So you did quit your job and you did go traveling.
I did. Yeah. So I quit my job, sold my car, moved out of my apartment, literally all within like 2 weeks in December. Of course, I had planned all of 2012. Like it was like leading up to that. I got sick right before traveling too. It was like everything in my life, just like, all right, this total disillusion of how, the kind of the cookie cutter life of like, you go to school, and I was like, nope, I'm letting spirit take me. I literally felt like it was going to be like a huge soul family convergence. And I was like, so blown away. So I ended up just backpacking by myself through Central America for 4 months, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, stayed in San Marcos for about 6 weeks, San Marcos in Guatemala, went to Cosmic Convergence. And like I said, it was just this massive soul family reunion, and met some beautiful soul sisters, ancient soul sisters there that taught me actually like that the importance of giving our blood back to the earth. And that was my first time hearing that. And it was at first like, that's weird, but then there was a part of me that was like, that sounds really powerful. That sounds really
I'm
powerful.
getting my whole body's like shivering right now. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And so I actually didn't even bleed like while I was traveling. And so the first time that I actually had the opportunity to do that was when I returned. It was in May. I was at my parents' house actually. So I was able to drop into that space, and I was like, wow, this is really powerful. So that was kind of the start of working with my cycle in that way.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. So one of the things that's for some reason it's popping into my awareness, and we've talked about this very briefly going back and forth, is the clearing out the root rot.
Yes.
Where does that where did that fit into like the journey?
So, I mean, it's really become a lot more clear to me in the last couple of years, because as for many of us with the lockdowns, like it was a massive like, wow, all right, this is go time of really these getting into the deeper layers, excavation of what I call the old matrix templates, which is all of the disconnect from our true nature, which is literally what the whole global pause that we've experienced, what Ma is telling us to rebalance within ourselves and to really, again, be turning ourselves inside out. And so the like clearing out the root rot, the deep foundational structures of how our entire lives have been structured based off of conditioning and programming that has disconnected us from our innate power.
Yes.
So, and it's such a deep reflection of also building sustainable businesses that are like, it's so interwoven. And that's really my mission, is to help women of the new earth, the priestesses of the earth, to really develop these really strong foundational systems that will last beyond this lifetime. This is building legacy businesses that are, it's generational wealth that again is the regeneration of ourselves. So we're building these systems that really deeply support us to do our inner work and to clear out the templates and consciously, it's for conscious conception, whether you want to have your own child or like myself and or whatever else you're meant to create, because this, we're all conscious, it's all about conscious conception. What are we choosing to bring through, and what are the imprints that are not in alignment with our truth, and really getting back to this harmonious state within ourselves. And it's been through ritual, through diving deeper into connecting with my blood, with my DNA, with my lineage, but also not, I think that it's important to be working with our benevolent ancestors. Not all of our ancestors are,
That's a good point.
It's really, really important. And I think that this is one of the pieces of like getting super crystal clear. And the more that we clear out, we're like, whoa, all right, this is the work that I'm doing does help heal the lineage. But what has happened through my lineage is not all on me. It's like this, like, as sovereign beings, we can clear the templates. And just by doing so within ourselves is the backward and forward through all space.
Absolutely. I see that a lot, like through the scope of my work, just even in the Akashic records, like just visually the timeline healing that takes place. I have a couple other questions for you out of curiosity, but then I do want to talk more business and some of the automation. And I kind of love how you weave in such a powerful feminine, and then also such a like bring really the grounded, like masculine components. I would love to hear just a little bit on like what, the rose codes mean to you. I know that's another, thing that really inspired me about you. I could see you weaving in the rose a lot, and your journey with Mary Magdalene, because I know you co-authored a book, and we
Yeah.
don't have to dive deep into it, but I'd love to hear some of the pieces of your journey. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing in the rose codes.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because it really has only been in the last couple of years where I'm like, Rose is like, hey, hi, like, girlfriend, I'm trying to come through,
Yes.
I'm trying to like hear you. And so I really see Rose as the embodiment of Divine Mother. Rose is the highest frequency flower on the planet.
Yes.
She is the direct reflection of the yoni.
I know. To me, the root chakra is the rose chakra. I refer to it very like that. To me, those are the new codes coming in. It's the root and the rose. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Exactly. So yeah, so her frequency is so important for our work in the world right now because she is the womb. She is the womb wisdom. And the more that we connect with Rose, she's such a subtle energy too. So I actually did 2 week-long rose immersions last year, which was really cutting out a lot from the diet. They were pretty restricted diets, but drinking 60 ounces of rose tea per day, and working with rose hip powder, rose tincture, and just really all things rose. No salt, absolutely no salt throughout the entire week. It was a very specific diet. That this was with
rose petals.
Yeah. So actually with a beautiful woman that I found on Instagram.
Wow.
Apothecary. Yeah, it was such an incredible.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Immersion. But yeah, so doing those immersions was so powerful for me to really tune into the deeper frequencies that are coming through her. Mm-hmm. And for embodied feminine leadership. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I've been working with rose. I love to do ritual with rose petals. I don't just put the rose petals in compost. I like, when they're getting ready to wilt, I take them off. I make sigil magic. I do sigil magic, put my moon blood in the center. And then once they're dried, I crush them up. And I also use those in rituals, with everything that we do, everything that we intend, it's like infused in those rose petals. And so, I love going to the grotto. The headshot that I sent you is at the grotto here in Portland. And so I love going there and offering rose petals to like all of the candles that are lit, all of the prayers that other people are have put there at the grotto. Yeah, when I'm out for hikes, I offer them to the river. It's just, yeah, it's so beautiful to work with Rose in that way. And she's just such a gift to receive.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, I love it. And again, I think you're such a beautiful example of embodiment, like really being embodied in your teachings and in your work and in your transmission. So I just want to celebrate that. I think it's important, and it's not always easy, and there can be a lot sometimes that takes us away from the embodiment work and the devotion to what it is that we're anchoring. And I think I really appreciate that about you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Yeah. And so where did Mary Magdalene, because I know that's a passion piece. I know you're very connected to her. I know you're a part of the book collab, and then we'll switch gears and kind of lean into some of the business pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting because I'm like, this is also the rose codes, the embodiment that you just spoke of. It has been, since that awakening, I mean, of course, many lifetimes, but since that initial awakening in 2011, that now I feel like all of the pieces are coming together, so it's been,
I get that. Okay.
A lot of cultivation. And so Mary Magdalene actually, so I was an exotic dancer for 6 years pre-global pause. And so that was kind of my first experiences of just really exploring and connecting with my sacred sensuality and sexuality. And yeah, and then when the global pause happened, I was like, wow, it was definitely like in the shadowed aspect of that world. And so, yeah, I've just been like unraveling these threads, these programs around what sexuality means, and kind of, yeah, any shame, guilt of misaligned energies and exchanges, because I think that it's so, especially in that industry, like there's so many imprints of the performer, the performance of, and the manipulation, both ways. And I spoke a little bit about that in the book Magdalene Codes, because this is such an important piece of women's reclamation of our feminine wisdom, of our feminine power, and our innate sensuality and sexuality, and erotic innocence.
Yes. Yeah.
And that again is the rose, the rose ripple of just like the just beautiful sensuality, the pieces of the rose.
Yes. Like, I know it's endless, like the medicine that she brings and where it touches in on embodied feminine leadership is, there's so many layers, and it's endless. Such a teacher.
For sure. So last year was really like the year of Mary Magdalene. So her number is 22. It was 2022. The feast day of Mary Magdalene is on July 22nd. And so, every 22nd of the month, it's like the more that I connect in with the rose grid, with the Magdalene grid of the planet, she's just coming in so much, the embodiment of her is coming through each and every one of us. And again, if you're called, Magdalene Codes is on Amazon. You can get the Kindle for 99 cents. And I shared more about that in my chapter of just like the embodiment of our inner divine union. And it's so interwoven with our business too.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Because, for myself, I've been so much in my feminine most of my life, and really kind of in timeless, like, timeless nature. But really for me, like the balance has been finding this business vehicle that really has required me to really switch on and balance my masculine. Like we have so many structures available, but there's still more for me to actually take the actions, the other steps in between that are necessary in order to build a really successful and scalable, long-term sustainable business that can hold my feminine, and where she feels like she can, she can do her thing, that I can really be walking those lines like dance.
Absolutely. And I know a little bit about like the business model that you're using, and I absolutely love it. I feel like for me, that was a lot too, that the inner union piece, as above, so below is within. So that was very like much about anchoring the 6-figure, like sustainable, like feminine based business for me. And it was getting that inner foundation, which really allowed me to anchor the outer foundation, but in a way that I could really feel held in a way that I could kind of like move, connected to my essence. So I hear you, but go ahead, share a little bit more. Because what I do love, even when you say it and I read it, it's the automation part that I feel like really does a lot of that heavy lifting for you too. So whatever you want to share on that.
Exactly. Yeah. So the automation, we are so blessed with this technology. Like, take a moment for gratitude, like that we have like so many systems in place to support us. And I had such an aversion to learning technology, to actually,
I still do.
I know, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, when I finally learn it, like I overcomplicate things, and then I'm like, that was so simple. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so the automation, and if we don't have automation built
Yeah.
into our businesses,
Yeah.
then we basically have a job.
Yeah.
Our business is our job, and it's not scalable. It's
It's
not
true.
scalable,
Yeah.
you know. And when we're looking at creating massive impact, getting over ourselves and actually being like, okay, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going all in. I'm going all in. We got big work to do right now on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
I know so many of us women are like, I know that I'm here to help, but I don't know how.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for myself, I was like, oh man, like I don't know exactly what I want to do. I felt like I needed to compartmentalize and figure out one specific soul offering. But yeah, the business vehicle that I'm working in right now really allows, it's a done for you business. So I
Yeah.
can build this. And while I'm doing so, we have automation built in. And I know that this is available for other businesses too. There's like so many foundational structures of businesses like funnels and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like,
you're talking about ease and simplicity too, I think,
yeah,
which is nice. Like there is something to be said about somebody who's carved the path, like or something, some structure that's like already there where it can be so simple for us. Like I really get like that part too. Yeah.
for sure. It's been the biggest goddess send for me to be able to do
Yeah.
this and to really have the spaciousness to learn the skill sets, to learn
Mm-hmm.
all of the skill sets. The platform that I work with, we have literally A to Z training of how to actually start from scratch with no social media, but really like learning how to build an online business from scratch, you
That's
know,
pretty cool. Yeah.
with very little followers, because we're able to, you know, leverage these systems. We have the training, we have the automated platform,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like I said, it's, you know, building the skill sets, even being able to, you know, do this podcast and public speaking has been a big edge for me. But I'm finally getting out of my own way, because I know that every single one of us, our voice matters. And
Mm-hmm.
when I free myself to do this, it gives other women permission to do the same. It's like the Williamson quote. It's like when we allow our light to shine, it gives others the permission to do the same. And it
Yeah.
doesn't serve anyone to keep ourselves isolated, which is the old matrix templates that have
Mm-hmm.
kept us like
The
compartmentalized.
separation. Yeah.
Yeah, we move mountains together, and when we really kind of move through our sisterhood wounds, the witch wound of persecution, fear of pure
Yep.
persecution, and we actually have a strong sisterhood to lean into while we're putting ourselves out there in a bigger way. Like, we're unstoppable. We are unstoppable together. And so it's really my vision to really hold women in a container where they can express themselves and free their throat chakra and share their stories with the world, and really, yeah, just make a positive impact and bring more
I
wealth
love
flow
that.
to the women, you know, the new earth mamas on the planet. So
Yes.
in birth,
Yes.
well resourced. It's like,
Yeah, absolutely. There's been so much in just different Akashic transmissions that I've been doing. I don't even know where now, but numerous times, a lot coming through around the sisterhood wound. And of course, like that's an old wound. It's come through before, but it's been I've touched in on it a few times. So it feels like there's like some shift happening in the collective, where there's this call for like more of us to really remember the power of sisterhood, and that you're right, it is part of the old matrix to exist in separation and isolation. I know that that can be a big one. So I love this call into sisterhood, and just the remembering and just being reminded that it is so powerful in that space, and when we rise and when we lift others up, like how powerful we are together. So thank you for that. Yeah. Is there anything else that you can definitely, you know, you can definitely share on where people can learn more about you, but is there anything else you just wanted to speak on? I know you talked a little bit about generational wealth. I don't know if there's anything else you want to speak on around that, you can, but just anything to kind of close the conversation that you might want to share and leave us with.
yeah, I just would love to infuse that anything and everything is possible. It's up to us to make it probable by actually doing the things that we need to do in this lifetime. And
Yeah.
again, it's about getting out of our own way and connecting and surrounding ourselves with beautiful sister mirrors that are going to mirror our greatness and our potential. And this is also about really dialing in our zone of genius, like what our particular genius is, and coming together as in sisterhood, where we're all embodying our zone of genius, is just like, whew, and we bring it out in one another. And so it's just such a gift to feel like, yeah, we're just getting started in this, and that there's space for all of us. It's like, there's not, you know, we can look at other women and think, that's not me. I could never do that, you know, and it's time to actually be like, that, what, if she can, I can. If she can, I can. And to really, yeah, to put one foot in front of the other, and just that deep trust, you know, and the more that we drop into ritual with ourselves and really cultivate trust within ourselves, to follow through, to lean in when we're challenged, and to pull all of these fragmented parts of ourselves from throughout our life that have told us that we're not enough, that we're not worthy, to bring it all back in. And
that's beautiful. And I like how you dropped ritual in there, because ritual is such an important piece to come into that space of unification, of presence, of remembering, where we can call all facets of all fragments of ourself back into that space of remembrance and power. So
exactly.
I love it. Yeah.
We're pure.
This was wonderful. I'm so happy that we had the chance to connect, that I got to learn more about you. I feel like this is going to be such a contribution to the New Earth Mama community. So thank you. And I am going to share Colleen's bio, but I'm also going to be sharing some of the links on like where to learn more about her. She's going to be sharing a beautiful, I don't remember the title, but a womb activation clearing free gift later in the Facebook group too. But is there any links, like off the top of your head, any invitation for people to take the work deeper with you that you want to leave them with?
Yeah, thank you so much. So there's going to be the free womb wealth wisdom activation to clear the old matrix templates, really clarify the womb cauldron. And I also have the womb wealth wisdom temple Facebook group. We're still kind of in the seedling stages, but it's a growing community of womb awakening women who are here to create massive impact and to code swap. That's what I like to call it.
I love it.
Womb wealth code swapping, and yeah, I'll also be teaching, you know, master classes in there soon. There's a lot that's blooming right now from a lot of cultivation the last years. And yeah, I do lives in there sharing womb wealth wisdom codes in there. And then, there's also a free masterclass next week with a couple of the mentors that I work with, who are going to be sharing a really powerful transmission on how to actually create a legacy business and the generational wealth, how important this is and how it actually works. You know, I think that so many of us, again, a part of the programming is really thinking super small. And so this masterclass is really going to just like stretch your vision of what's possible and really show you exactly how this business vehicle works from two people who have created full financial freedom in their life, and from being broke from, you know, in a relatively short period of time, within, you know, 5 years. And so really seeing what's possible with this, and it's going to be super powerful. So that I can drop the Facebook event invite.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And I haven't been able to catch the comments because of the way that this is set up. So if you have been watching live, thank you for being here. If you're catching the replay, thank you for being here. I'm going to swing back and see if there's any comments, of course, and check in. But otherwise, thank you, Colleen, and thank you, everyone. And I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.
Blessed be.
Give me one moment to figure this out. That may have done it. That may not have done it. Okay. I just shut Facebook off. So if I end here, it'll close us right out. But I just wanted to say thank you again. I think we're still live in Facebook. Stop.